So it's done. Who are the main characters? Dr. Faustus. This one or this one?
This one.
This one.
Okay. And Mephistopheles? Who is Mephistopheles?
The servant of Lucifer.
Servant of Lucifer, and in terms, the servant of Dr. Faustus. And then comes Lucifer. Who is Lucifer? A biblical character, the king of devils. And then Beelzebub. And then good angel, bad angel, an old man. Do you remember the old man?
Yes.
Old man, scholar friends, scholars. Then Wagner. Who was Wagner? Servant and student of Dr. Faustus. And Robin, clown, horse courser. Okay. So what was the mistake that Dr. Faustus has done? What was his mistake? Okay, he was really a good scholar, a knowledgeable person, a brilliant scholar. He was studying everything like medical, then law, philosophy and everything. And then he started being curious about necromancy, right? And that is exactly what destroyed him. Okay, so Dr. Faustus was in a pact with Lucifer for 24 hours. Who proposed the pact? Dr. Faustus or Mephistopheles? Who proposed the pact? Dr. Faustus or the Mephistopheles? Dr. Faustus. So if I ask you, who is responsible for the damnation of Dr. Faustus? What is the answer? Okay, Dr. Faustus, excessive desire for knowledge, devil, Lucifer, who? Excessive desire for knowledge. So if you want to stay in between, like I want to go for Dr. Faustus and also for Mephistopheles, কারণ আমরা দেখেছি Mephistopheles শেষের দিকে কি বলেছে? I was the person who used to make you sleep when you were reading scriptures or Bibles, and I distracted your concentration when you were thinking about God or heaven. So this is how I actually distracted you. So it's Mephistopheles and Dr. Faustus. And there is a line, he who loves pleasure must for pleasure fall. Okay, so he had a desire for knowledge, and if you give him some opportunity to gain more knowledge, he will definitely fall for it. And Mephistopheles did the same with Dr. Faustus, okay, through necromancy. Okay, so the book is from Elizabethan age. What was the duration of Elizabethan age? It was 1558 to 1603, and it's called the Golden Age of English Literature. Golden Age of English Literature. And it's the Renaissance period, and Dr. Faustus was a Renaissance man. The characteristics, you have to study the characteristics of Renaissance man and Dr. Faustus as a Renaissance man. You have to read this for your exam. Okay, and then art and literature flourished during this period, and the best product from this period was William Shakespeare. Okay. Okay. So these are the backgrounds, religious background, social background, political background of Elizabethan age, and these are the characteristics of Elizabethan drama, especially Elizabethan tragedy. Okay, so Dr. Faustus is a comic drama or tragic drama? Tragedy. Okay, Okay, so these are the characteristics. Here you can see 9 characteristics. All of them are important except this 8th one. Okay, so first one is the complex plot. What is complex plot?
Like it's not perceivable beforehand.
Okay, you can say that there was a Chaudhry Saheb and Shakib Khan went there to marry his daughter. ঠিক আছে, তারপরে ও হচ্ছে 20 লাখ টাকা প্রপোজ করলো, শাকিব খান সেটাকে রিজেক্ট করলো, অথবা নিজে বিজনেস করে আবার বড়লোক হয়ে তার মেয়েকে বিয়ে করলো। ঠিক আছে, আনপ্রেডিক্টেবল, লাইক এইরকম মানে নর্মাল কাহিনী না যেটা আপনি প্রেডিক্ট করতে পারবেন। সে আমরা যখন ডক্টর ফস্টার্স পড়ছিলাম, উই স দ্যাট again and again Dr. Faustus was trying to repent, but আমরা আশা করছিলাম ও হয়তো এখন রিপেন্ট করে ফেলবে, আচ্ছা ও হয়তো এখন রিপেন্ট করে ফেলবে, বাট ও কিন্তু করে নাই। সো ইউ ক্যান্ট গেস দ্য এন্ড। সো আপনি যদি এন্ডটা গেস না করতে পারেন, দ্যাটস আ কমপ্লেক্স প্লট। অলসো মাঝখানে অনেক অনেক ঘটনা হয়, ইউ ক্যান সি লটস অফ টার্নস অ্যান্ড ইভেন্টস ইন দ্য স্টোরি। ওকে, অ্যান্ড রাউন্ড ক্যারেক্টার্স, হোয়াট ইজ রাউন্ড ক্যারেক্টার্স?
Gray characters.
Gray characters, like it's not white or black. Dr. Faustus is not totally good or totally bad. He is in between. He is gray. So these are the round characters. Diverse themes. You can explain this text from the theme love. Love for knowledge, or from tragic end, from greed, from pride. Okay. 7 deadly sins. Okay, Christianity versus Christianity versus blasphemy. Okay, or you can go for necromancy. It's a different theme থেকে you can just explain it. The mix of verse and prose. Before this text, writers used to follow. If that's the verse, it will be verse only. If that's the prose, then it will be prose only. কবিতা কবিতাই থাকবে, গল্প গল্পই থাকবে. There will be no in between. Okay. So from this period, writers started to write the mixture of verse and prose. Did you read শেষের কবিতা by Rabindranath Tagore? কেউ পড়েছেন? That's a mix of verse and prose. Okay, soliloquies. What is soliloquy? Just voicing out your thoughts, inner thoughts. So soliloquy এর আগে ছিল না, এই পিরিয়ডের একটা বৈশিষ্ট্য। And comic relief. The tragedy will not be only tragic events, you know. There will be comic reliefs. What is comic relief?
ওটা স্যাড হবে তারপরও কমেডি টাইপের।
The tone is sad, but there will be some funny moments. Okay? And then dramatic irony. Dr. Faustus gained more and more power and knowledge, and he started to know everything. So he was supposed to be very, very powerful person, but instead he had a great fall. So this is the irony that happened with him. This is dramatic irony. Saxon costume, just ignore that. Supernatural elements. Did we get any supernatural elements, Dr. Faustus? What is supernatural elements? Devils, angels, good angel, bad angel, and then?
Something I do not see.
Divine.
Ghost, imaginary stuffs. Okay. Okay, so magics, exactly. So এখানে সবকিছু explain করা আছে. I'll just give it to your portal. Okay. So characteristics of a tragic hero. Do you support that Dr. Faustus was a tragic hero? Do you think he was a hero?
No.
You can have an argument, but he was a hero. Remember the starting? The start? Can you please pause the video? I'm having some call from. So he was a hero. Do you remember the starting? He was really good at philosophy. He was good at medicine, law. He saved Wittenberg from plague. He was a hero. and gradually he had a downfall. So he is a tragic hero. Okay, so characteristics of a tragic hero, and you have to relate them with Dr. Foster's character. Okay, nobility or high standing. So the tragic hero at the starting of the book will be a character who is really of high standard. So Dr. Foster was a great scholar, well honored and renowned in Wittenberg, Germany. Okay, so he had a high standing. What is this? What is this? But how can I cross that? It's not working. Okay, anyways. So this is Hamershia. There will be a tragic flaw. The tragedy will not happen at once. Like ekbare je tragedy hoye geche ব্যাপারটা এরকম হবে না. It will have a flaw. Like at the starting he started to read necromantic book, and then he had a pact with Lucifer, and then he tried to get back to God, but he could not. Several times he was trying to get back, but it was impossible to get back from that phase. So he had a graduate, I mean, he fell gradually, like শুরু থেকে ওর কি হচ্ছিল যে ও একটু একটু করে ব্যাক যেতে যাচ্ছে, দেন পারছে না, আবার ব্যাক যেতে যাচ্ছে, আবার পারছে না। সো এরকম একটা কনফিউশন ছিল, অ্যান্ড শেষ পর্যন্ত আমরা ওয়েট করেছি দেয়ার মাস্ট বি সামথিং পজিটিভ, রাইট? সো হি হ্যাড এ tragic flaw. It was not at once tragedy. And then I can't see anything. Anyways, that was excessive pride. The tragic hero will be excessively proud of himself, and Dr. Faustus was that. When he saw Mephistopheles, he said that, who are you? You are so ugly. You should change your feature before you come to me. And then again when he saw Lucifer, he said the same. And সব জায়গায় ও হচ্ছে নিজেকে খুব জ্ঞানী, খুব মানে খুব প্রাউড ফিল করতো ও নিজেকে নিয়ে সব কিছুতে। It's not working. Pause the video, please. And this is the same. After signing the pact, he was having more and more power, right? So he was supposed to be a really powerful person, knowledgeable, renowned, and respected person in Germany. But instead, what happened? He was hated by everyone, right? Do you hate him? No? You should. Okay, sad. Okay. So he had a really bad fall. And this is the reversal of fortune. He was supposed to be something and he became something. Okay. Then recognition or anagnosis.
When bad things happen to good people, it's really sad.
Yes. He was not a good people. He was really proud of himself.
At the beginning was
But not that much good. Okay, this is the situation. Anagnosis. This is the situation where the hero or the tragedy which is happening to someone, the hero understands the situation. He understands what is happening to himself. Realization টা ঠিক আছে। এমন অনেক সিন থাকে যেখানে আমরা বুঝতে পারি হিরোর সাথে কি হচ্ছে, বাট হিরো বুঝতে পারে না হিরোর সাথে কি হচ্ছে। So hero's wife is cheating with him. So we the audiences know the situation, but not the hero. But here, the hero will know his situation, will be well aware, and will try to get back to normal situations. And catharsis. Okay, so catharsis is the understanding of purpose of a tragic hero in literature. Like, do you feel sad for Dr. Faustus? If yes, then it has a catharsis. If not, if you feel comedy, if you feel it was very much right, that had to happen with him, okay, then it's not a tragedy. So you as an audience, as a reader, have to connect yourself with the hero. So আপনি যদি হিরোর সাথে নিজেকে কানেক্ট না করতে পারেন, ক্যাথারসিস ছিল না, ঠিক আছে? আপনাকে ইমোশনাল করতে পারেন এই রাইটিংটা। Okay, this is the same thing. Downfall. There must be a downfall. যদি ওই হিরোটা কোনোভাবে ওখান থেকে ব্যাক করে চলে আসে, and if it has a happy ending, then it's a comedy, it's not a tragedy. Comedy মানে হাস্যরসের তো কিছু না, comedy মানে it has a good ending, happy ending. Okay, so you have to write down Dr. Faustus as a tragic hero. You have to match these characteristics with Dr. Faustus, and you have to prove that this is a tragic writing and Dr. Faustus is a tragic hero. There was another question maybe. Okay, Dr. Faustus as an Elizabethan tragedy. I taught you the characteristics of Elizabethan tragedy, okay? So you have to write down the characteristics and then you have to match them with Dr. Faustus, I mean the book, and you have to say that Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe was an Elizabethan tragedy because of this. Is it clear? You know the characteristics of Elizabethan tragedy, 9 characteristics.
Yes.
On 8 you have to focus, and then you have to relate those characteristics with Dr. Faustus' book by Christopher Marlowe, and you have to say these characteristics matches this book, that's why this book is a Elizabethan tragedy. Okay? So write it down. It was Dr. Faustus as a tragic hero. You know the characteristics of a tragic hero, and then you have to match them with the characteristics of Dr. Faustus to prove that Dr. Faustus is a tragic hero. Okay, so if I give this question, like this is the question, say, Dr. Faustus as an Elizabethan tragedy. First, you will write the 8 Elizabethan tragedy or 9 Elizabethan tragedy characters. You have to write them down at first. This is the first portion of your answer, and then you have to go for Dr. Faustus as an Elizabethan tragedy. Is it clear? Yes. Same goes for Dr. Faustus as a tragic hero. First, the first portion of your answer will be the characteristics of a tragic hero, and then you will go for Dr. Faustus as a tragic hero. Okay. There was another question, which was Dr. Faustus as, it's not here. So there is another question, write it down. Dr. Faustus as a morality play, or is Dr. Faustus a morality play? The question is Dr. Faustus a morality play? If you have to answer this, you have to know what is morality play. What is morality play? Can you explain in one sentence? A play that has a moral lesson, that teaches you something. But it has 9 characters. I'll just discuss it after the recording, okay? So you have to know the characteristics of morality play, and then you have to write Dr. Faustus as a morality play. Does the characteristics matches Dr. Faustus' book? What? Repeat what? A play that has a moral lesson? We'll go for it after the recording. Dr. Faustus actually went against the will of God, against the God. Okay, so is his fall a tragic moment or an act of justice? Okay, what do you think? An act of justice or tragic? It's very complex. That's why that can be the question. Is Dr. Faustus' fall tragic or an act of justice? Okay, how many of you believe that it was an act of justice? কার কার মনে হয় যে ডক্টর ফস্টাসের যে ফলটা ছিল দ্যাট ওয়াজ নট ট্র্যাজিক I don't feel any tragedy. That was an act of justice. Justice towards God,
Yeah.
towards Christianity, towards religion. How many of you believe in it was an act of justice? Raise your hands. I want to see. And the rest? The rest people thinks it was a tragedy.
Justice according to the bond.
According to the bond. According to many things. From the very starting, he was going against the God. He wanted to be more powerful than God, the creator. If you want to be more powerful than your creator, that's not a good thing. Before that, he wrote the name of God in a mismanaged manner, and then he made circles and squares to call on the devils. So if you call on the devil, that's against God. God has forbidden you to go for necromancy.
Can we say that says are very knowledgeable if someone want to be more powerful than God? Is it foolish?
Yes,
I cannot be more powerful than God.
exactly.
He's not knowledgeable.
He had a knowledge, but he had a lackings of some moral knowledge maybe, or ethics. There should be some ethics. Act of justice. So many of you will go for act of justice, I know. In answer scripts, I get this one more than that one. Okay. Because he proposed the pact of 24 years. He called Mephistopheles. He signed the bond. Okay, he asked for Helen
All this for as
as
a gift.
a gift. Also as a gift. Okay, so there can be a debate. Is Dr. Foster's fall tragic or an act of justice? Okay. Who is responsible for the fall of Dr. Foster's? He himself, his pride,
Cravings for knowledge.
his cravings for knowledge, his pride, his excessive knowledge, his excessive thirst,
7 deadly sins.
7 deadly sins. 7 deadly sins.
Bad habits. Yes.
I'm making you guys think about the text. Okay? সো আপনারা যেহেতু প্রথমবার এত বড় একটা টেক্সট পড়ছেন, আমি যদি আপনাদের মধ্যে না বুঝাইতে পারি যে বাবারে এত দিক থেকে পড়া যায় একটা টেক্সট, তখন আপনি পরেরগুলোতেও পড়বেন না, বুঝছেন? আপনাকে 4 ইয়ার্সের জন্য রেডি করার জন্য আমি এটা পড়াচ্ছি। ওকে, সো এক্সপ্লেইন 7 deadly sins in the characters of Dr. Faustus. There will be another question. Character of So this question is explain 7 deadly sins in the characteristics of Dr. Faustus. What is the difference?
It's a person.
What is the difference? I said explain 7 deadly sins. Explain 7 deadly sins in the characters of Dr. Faustus, characteristics of Dr. Faustus. One is underlined and other is not. What is the difference?
The underlying one is the book.
What is about the character?
And what does that mean? Okay, so characters means the different people, different characters in the book. like Lucifer, Mephistopheles, Dr. Faustus, Wagner, old man, horse courser, okay, and there was the king. Yes, so these are the characters. So you have to explain 7 deadly sins in this book's characters. Clear? This is the name of book. And if the question is like that, explain 7 deadly sins in the characteristics of Dr. Faustus, then
Only Dr. Faustus.
you have to explain Dr. Faustus and his human traits, okay, his behaviors, which represent 7 deadly sins. He was really proud of his look, so it's pride. He had an excessive a thirst for knowledge, it's gluttony. He had a desire for Helen, it's lust, okay. সো এভাবে দেখতে দেখতে আমরা মোটামুটি 7টাই ওর মধ্যে পেয়ে যাই, ঠিক আছে?
শেষের আগে কোশ্চেনটা একবার বুঝি।
This one?
Explain 7 deadly sins in the characters of Dr. Faustus. ওই যে ক্যারেক্টারগুলো আছে, 14 জন যে ক্যারেক্টার আছে, মোস্ট প্রবাবলি টোটাল 14টা। সো তাদের ক্যারেক্টারটা না, তাদের ক্যারেক্টারের মধ্যে
You don't have to explain those 14 characters. You can just go for 3 or 4 main characters like Mephistopheles, Dr. Faustus, Wagner, Lucifer. Lucifer was really proud, and that is why he actually went against the God. Okay, Lucifer ke keno heaven theke helle diye deoya hoyeche because of his pride. He was really proud of himself. Eta kintu Mephistopheles nijei boleche. Okay, maybe you can search it on YouTube. There must be some movie. Animation. I have no idea. Okay, done? These are not suggestions. See, আমরা এর আগে কি করেছি? গত সেমিস্টারে স্পেশালি you read Bangla language and literature, right? And Bangladesh studies and English language skills, reading and writing. So these are not enough to make you think like a student of literature. So these questions will help you to read a text from different perspective. Okay? So signify the importance of the line homophils. Do you remember the line? When he was signing, he saw an inscription in his arm. It was written here. Maybe hallucination or illusion, right? Okay, so what is the importance of this? The meaning is
Fly.
fly. Oh man. So someone was asking him to fly from necromancy. What is the importance of this line? So you can say this is just 2 lines. How can I
Blinding of
how can I write 3 pages for this one? You can, because many times the God has tried to keep him away from this, and this was one of that. Okay? So you can explain every single event that matches this one. Clear? এটা কাজ। আমি ঠিক প্লাস্টিক ভাবছি। Okay, so he that loved pleasure must for pleasure fall. Explain. What is the importance of this double inverted comma? What does that signify?
ডিরেক্ট কোটেশন।
It's a direct quotation from the text.
He
He that loves. So in the book it's loveth. It's loves. Pleasure must for pleasure fall. So you have to explain it. So if it's for 10 marks, you have to write at least 3 pages. If it's for 5 marks or explanation only, then you have to go for 1 or 1.5 pages. Is it clear? So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean, guys? The backbenchers. The students from the other portion of pillar. Like পিলারের ওই পারে স্টুডেন্টদেরকে আমরা অমনোযোগী ভাবি যে ওরা ফাঁকিবাজ এই জন্য পিলারের ওই পাশে বসছে Okay, so what does that mean? How can you relate this with Dr. Faustus? Okay. So he had a desire for knowledge. So if he is given an opportunity to gain more, he will definitely fall for that. And necromancy was one of them. Okay? He had to start at the very beginning when he took the book and good angel came and said that, oh, close the book. Okay, it will God will be angry with you. So এটা পড়াই উচিত হয় না ওর ও গিয়েছে সাইন করেছে he lived that for 24 years. So apart from that, I mean ওইদিকে তো যাওয়ারই কথা না ওর তো বইটা নেয়ারই কথা না you as a person you can just search for necromantic book and you will just get them, right? If you try, but will you go for it? You will not, because you know that is prohibited. Okay, you have to be humble and obedient to someone, at least to your God. Okay, and there is another line. What was the last portion? My blood congeals and I cannot no more. No more.
I can't.
Okay, I can write no more. So it's really tough to remember the exact line from a book which is written in, I mean, back in 500 years. So what does that mean? My blood congeals and I can write no more. He was writing the pact for 24 years with Lucifer, and in between his blood actually frozen and he could not write anymore. And who helped him?
By bringing piece of
Okay, what is the significance of this line? Like, why that happened? The blood congealing. This was a warning from God. Spiritual mistake. He's going to do a spiritual mistake. Nice term. Okay, there is another line. So if I say, what does this signify? You have to remember this scene. When old man came to him, old man said that you have to go back to God. He said, okay, give me some time. I will ponder on my wrongdoings and I will go back to my God. And then what happened? Mephistopheles came, tormented him. He said sorry to Mephistopheles and he said, give me Helen so that I can distract myself from God. So this is a representation of his lust. Okay. Was this the phase that launched 1,000 ships? I'm really bad at memorizing. I don't know how. I just know these lines. Can the camera see me here? If I'm here. দেখা যায়? So what does this line signify? Was this the phase that launched 1,000 ships? He's talking about Helen. He's talking about a war. What was the war? The war between?
Rome and Greek. 10 বছর যাবত একটা যুদ্ধ চলছিল।
What between whom and whom?
রোম and গ্রিকের মধ্যে।
Yes, Greece. Okay. So they had a war for 10 years because of Helen. And Troy was destroyed for her. There was another line which is important. Oh, time's up. Ugh. লেখা শেষ, আপনাদের মুছে দিব? What does that mean? It was told by chorus at the ending of your drama. Cut is the branch that might have grown full straight. গাছের ডালপালা কিভাবে বড় হয়? It will spread, right? In left and right,